Okay, so the next thing we were going to do was go back up and re-implement our set configuration setting at the very top, because now that we've implemented all this other stuff, we need to go change how we implement the set and get. Basically, we have more complex data management layer, like how do we get to the data and how do we set the data. And that whole thing has gotten more complex. That's why we have, okay, so everything has to, we have to double check everything. So sets a configuration setting on the configuration data structure stored on the D data structure. That doesn't change. Now this does change, because we're not going to have 2 parameters, we're going to have 3. Another one of these. And it's an array of string. And it's the configuration namespace. And the description changes. Description is the path in the configuration JSON object. Now, the configuration name stays the same, description stays the same, configuration value stays the same, and the description stays the same. You can leave the date the same, but I do need to have a note in here that cannot do loggers. I want to make sure I don't lose that for both of these. I'm going to put, and then we need a new logger. I'll just copy this one. We could leave it commented out or not. We're going to be doing some interesting stuff. And we need the new parameter here. So configuration namespace. That has to go there. I'll leave this uncommented as well, just for now, because we got new stuff coming up. And we need a new console log.
So you want me to uncomment console log?
Yeah, just for now. I mean, we'll probably, I know we're going to comment it back later. But you'll need that new first parameter. Implementation changes. So we still have, I'm sorry, no, we do not have this anymore. We say let if, we can leave the if, but we'll take the contents of the if out. Just the contents of the if. And the let is going to change that to say let namespace space config object equal get configuration namespace object, and we'll just pass it the configuration namespace dot split, because it needs an array, and we'll split on the dot. The inner part of the if here, we need to take that out, and we'll say if namespace namespace config object, then we say namespace config object, and we do a backtick, $ curly brace, configuration namespace, dot $ curly brace, configuration name equals configuration value. And then we need to go down to the getter, and that changes a little bit more, but okay, get configuration setting gets a configuration value based on the configuration name. That's fine. Okay, we have a new param, which is an array of string. Oops, that's not what I want. Okay, the name of that variable is configuration namespace again. And the description is the path in the configuration JSON object where the configuration setting should be found. Okay, the configuration name stays the same, and the return stays the same. Author, date, note, everything's the same. Comment these guys again, same as before. We got enough going on here. We do have that new parameter, so that's got to be console logged. And we need the new parameter in here, which is configuration namespace. Okay, good, I got a match there. That was there and here. Turn and the console logs at the end. I'll uncomment them. We've got enough differences here that I guess it makes sense to wipe out the entire if. Now, the let, we can leave that for now, and then we'll say it won't change, it'll stay the same. But we will have let namespace config object equal undefined here. Namespace config object equals get configuration namespace object, and we pass it the configuration namespace dot split again with the dot, same as we did in the setter. And then we have another if namespace config object. Here, I'm going to go ahead and put my note down here. And if namespace config object, just for reference, here inside this if we'll have another if configuration name else, I'll go ahead and do the else, return configuration value equals get parent configuration namespace object. We'll pass it the configuration namespace along with a comma and an empty string. So that's under the else. I left if, so I went ahead and implemented the else. Yeah, we're building out the advanced configuration system right now. We started building out the business rules previously, and I have since built out the constant system, the configuration system, a little bit of the validation system, some of the other stuff, data management, data structures. There's quite a lot of things that I've implemented already in the main framework. And now I'm starting to glue all the pieces together, which is like when we all make it all work and run and everything works together. And that's what I'm starting to work on right now. And that's like where you learn how the systems start to integrate. And I'm going to try and get as much of that done in this training with you, because it's good to learn how systems integrate. Systems integration is a whole big thing. Like they have whole degrees based on that alone. But anyways, okay, let's get back to this. All right, so in the if, back another if, configuration name dot includes the @ symbol and configuration name dot index of the @ symbol, and then that one has an else, and that else is return configuration value equals namespace config object bracket backtick $sign curly brace configuration namespace dot $sign curly brace configuration name. So I'm trying to learn a lot of stuff right now about how I'm going to make all this glue work for making the whole project come together. And there's a lot to it. I mean, there's a reason why they have project management, because it's good to know how to like tie all the pieces together, all the loose ends for a project. Return configuration value equals get parent configuration namespace object, and then we pass the configuration namespace and the configuration name. Thing is all the way down here at the exports, module exports. We got our set configuration, but it has to have a new parameter for the namespace. So it needs a configuration namespace. And then I'm going to bring this around to the next line. And this also needs, this configuration namespace needs to be here, comma. And the get configuration, it also needs a configuration namespace, comma, and the same over here, comma, and I guess I'm going to rotate that one around as well. And then we need 3 more. So they are process configuration name rules, colon, fully qualified name, the arrow function to process configuration name rules, qualified name, comma, process configuration namespace rules, colon, qualified name again, arrow function to process configuration namespace rules, fully qualified name again. And the last one is process configuration value rules and value. Process configuration value rules, name and value. And that's it. That's the end of this file. I think at this point we probably just need to go back over. I know that there is at least one function we need to implement. So I'm just going to expand off my project folders. I'm going to close configurator, data, warden, chief configurator, framework.system.json. And I guess we'll just start going back through, and I'm going to make sure that we got everything implemented. And I'm pretty sure we didn't. So I'm just going to double check. Data broker, scan data path. Okay, we're good there. Oh, yeah, we do need to have something here. We need to have let rules equal like that. Let files found equal that. And rules 0 equals swap back slash to forward slash. I don't know how this is going to work on your system. And then I've got a console log here that I'm just hard coding to make sure my rules are in line. Console.log backtick execute business rules. There we go. Oops, why is it? Oh, because my backtick is all messed up. Okay. Business rules. Stringify rules. And then data path equals, where's my data path? Oh, data path is passed in. Okay, data path equals broker dot process rules data path empty string rules. Okay, and I'll do another console.log backtick data path after business rules processing is $ curly brace data path, and then we do the files found, but I'm going to take off the let because we've already declared let. We've already declared it. Hopefully we don't have too many more changes. I know that there's at least one giant function we have to implement. I'm just going to keep going down through these. So we did that one. Load all JSON data. Let's see what we got here. Okay, that's looking good. That looks good. All of that looks fine. I'm just doing my comparison. If multi, yes, okay. If let data, if merge, what else, object. Yep, all of that looks fine. Parse data, multi-data file. Okay, and then pre-process JSON file. Oh, yes, we do have some stuff here as well. Again, it's kind of the same as what we did up above. Okay, here it's let file path rules equal this file path rules 0 equals swap, oops, message, swap double forward slash to single forward slash. And console.log, execute business rules. Oh, this has got to be backtick. $sign curly brace JSON.stringify file path rules. I'm in the pre-processed JSON file function. Alright, and then we say let final file to load equals rule broker dot process rules file to load empty quote file path rules. Oops. There we go. And then that stays the same, and everything else is the same. And we might have been able to get by without doing all of that business, but I think it's still a good thing to do anyways. It's possible I might have made a mistake. Yes, this final file to load needs to go right here. Forgot about that. Now I'm just going to go over the rule broker, which probably doesn't have any changes. Bootstrap business rules, nope. Add client rules, nope. Process rules, nope. Okay, good to go. I'm going to skip over business rules. Well, we could double check the business rules library. I'm pretty sure we got everything there. Yep, we did. Okay, so keep on going. I'm going to skip over controllers because I know that's the one that needs to, we have a big function we need to implement. And I want to check everything else first. So I'll go to configurator, which actually we just did. We don't need, I know we don't need that, so we'll skip over that. We'll go to file operations. Okay, next, file operations. Okay, get JSON data. And we're basically just wrapping up. I know we've got at least one, maybe two more big functions to implement. And then we're basically finishing up with training 2. And the last piece that we're going to need to do for you is make sure that everything's running, and then we'll data processing that's going on, which is kind of neat when that's actually start to see that working.
So yeah, we're probably going to spend some time debugging.
Yeah, we'll have a little bit of debugging time there.
Okay. All right.
Man. Have a good evening.
You too. Later.
See you. Bye.